Your boy, Iceman and Bob, Tech and Gaming. And I have the one, the only game enthusiast in
Hello.
the building.
Hello.
So yeah, this stream here, man, this
Yeah.
stream, we're gonna talk about a subject. Everyone's talking about the Sony A95L. It seems like ever since it debuted, you almost don't hear any of the other Sony models come up in conversation unless they say, "Whoa, I have this model," but it's always a but. And obviously, within reason, the A95L has taken center stage. So, with that being said, we want to talk about something that I know me personally. This was brought to my attention actually by game enthusiasts. And then I started doing my research. And this is something that I'm surprised no one else in the community has talked about, other than some of the sources that we're going to show with you all. But in terms of all of the other reviewers, creators, whatever you want to put the titles on, no one has talked about it. And I just would think at some point in time, either themselves have encountered this or someone they know most likely may have encountered this. So, what are we talking about? If you haven't read the title, we're talking about how the Sony A95L has scratches on its screen. You heard me correctly. Let me repeat it one more time for all the Sony fanboys and fangirls. The Sony A95L QD OLED television set has scratches on its screen. Game enthusiasts, I don't know if you want to let this one rip because, man, oh man, oh man. I would like to say, so if you don't know, Game Enthusiast actually has the Sony A95L, and I'm going to allow him to share his experiences because what we're doing here is you get one side of the experience when you see people do reviews, but those reviews are often short term. Some of these reviewers have not purchased the television set themselves. Maybe they were on a loan. Maybe they did purchase it. And we do have some people that we know in the community that actually own the TV. But when you actually have it for yourself, and it's yours, there's certain things that you may notice that you just may not notice if you don't actually own the TV. So if you would, game enthusiasts, definitely not only just talk about the screen scratches, but if we could back up, I would like, if you don't mind, for you to share your experiences, maybe even right when you knew that you were going to get the TV. We'll start there.
Yes. So I knew I was going to get this TV like basically 8 months ago because I watched the reveal. I liked what I was seeing, the Dolby Vision gaming, the QD OLED panel. I never had a QD OLED panel. I always had an OLED panel. Like I started with the B7 and I got burning on that, but that was like in OLED's kind of earliest years before it got matured. Then I got the B8, the C9, the C10, and when I don't use those TVs anymore, so I just give it to my family. So, and then I had the A90J, which had like one of the, which is I think is so far, I think the A95L takes it, but the A90J was a really good TV. Like the unboxing experience was really good in terms of, how it was packaged. So it had bumpers. It had like these black bumpers on top of the bezel to keep it, not to keep the bezel safe. And I recall it having a protective film to protect the screen. So back to the A95L, I've been waiting 8 months for this. I've been saving, putting money to the side, and like slowly saving up to get this TV. So I even went to anticipation. I went to the Value Electronics TV shootout. And that's where me and Iceman and Bob met, and we hit it off. He was educating my brother who was with me there about TVs and what they were doing. It was a fun time, and it turns out the TV that I want, well now have, is the king of TVs. So I was even more excited. So I got the TV, I think like a bit over 2 weeks ago. Um, and I was doing an unboxing. I have an unboxing video if you wanted to check that out. I think it was my most viewed one of my most viewed video on my YouTube channel, of me just unboxing the A95L. So for anyone that who watched that and is watching this now, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I was really surprised by it. And then I was off to the races. I just wanted to check the TV out, and I was just kind of like, here's the thing. The TV was supposed to come October 20th, basically when Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Wonder was coming out. And I thought, oh boy, it's going to come. It did not turn out to come that day, because they were doing too many deliveries and they had to take it back to the warehouse. So I had to take an extra day off from work just so I can receive the TV, because they don't do weekends. So that, and I failed to notice the scratches on the screen when I was unboxing it, because I was so excited. And I don't know if it was either disbelief or denial, or maybe a little bit of both. But then I just thought, man, maybe I'll just just go away eventually. Like maybe I just have to break
just
and
polish it out. Yeah, you can probably just polish it out.
Yeah, but it was when and my excitement peaked when they released the Dolby Vision gaming update. They just released it earlier than people anticipated, and I was like, I was looking at the TV. I have a ceiling fan with the lights on. And I was looking at it, and those scratches, and they were like, if this is the TV right here, like this part had like scratches. But the thing is that when I was calling Sony about it, and I was just rubbing my finger. I didn't have any fingernails. I didn't do it like this. I did it like this, and just to see if there was if I felt anything, but it wasn't. It didn't feel like how you get a scratch
right
on your phone, and you can check if you can tell there's a groove or a dig.
Right.
I didn't felt that. So we were talking about this, about if this was the coating that the TV was using or not. So,
and you know what I think is a good thing for everyone watching right now, whether you're watching this live or you're going to come back to this particular stream, we're going to get a picture up so that you can get an idea what the scratches look like. Many people just hear scratches. What are you talking about? Are they the type of scratches, say like with your car? You know how the cars over time, the paint job gets the swirl marks in them, or just the wear and tear type scratches? No, these scratches are noticeable. And I have to stress, they're noticeable not just because you shine a light on them. They're noticeable in content. They're noticeable when the TV's on as well as off. So anything like that is definitely an issue. I'm going to get a picture on the screen here. Matter of fact, we'll make it big. And so hopefully I'm going to try to point out a little bit here. I don't want to go super large, but if you look right here where I have the cursor going, all right, many of you should be able to see the cursor. You can see the scratches that are on the screen. Obviously, Game Enthusiast just has the light on to make it more visible for those purposes, but you could clearly see that there are scratches on the screen. And with this being a Master Series, this also being a Sony television, and this, quite frankly, is something that I will say many people in the community jumped all over all the other brands. If they were to have an issue like this, they would call it crap. They would call it, especially say Samsung. I know the popular term is call it Scam-sung, not Sam. They call it Scam-sung. Aha, see, you got Scam-sung and all these other things, LG and whatever, Hisense. It's crap. It's cheap. It's not a top tier brand. So, this is what you get what you pay for, right? Well, for everyone that has paid for this Sony A95L, applying that same logic, let's answer the question: did game enthusiasts get what he paid for? Are all the other people in the community getting what they paid for with this television set? And speaking of community, I've segued into another avenue. See, many people might think that this is an isolated issue. And if you're here and you're watching this, if you have the Sony A95L, or if you know someone that has the Sony A95L, please chime in. If you are from Sony, hello, Rob Brennan. Can you shed some light into this? The reason why we're doing this stream is to bring awareness, not to bash Sony or bash any brand at that. It's to bring awareness because, again, as I mentioned, I have not seen one content creator, one influencer, one reviewer, one media person actually cover this particular issue. And this issue is not an isolated thing. This is actually something that's widespread. So since I referred to the community, one of the things that I want to do is we're going to put something else on the screen, okay? And we're going to take a look at some community messages to let you all see that this isn't just a game enthusiast experience, right? You know, you have to document everything for future reference. What's up? Is that Stills 101?
Stills.
He says, hi. Let's go ahead and put his comment on the screen. He says, hi, I just returned the set. I'm assuming that's what Stills means, and get in exchange for a faulty set. I went through 5 Samsung TVs, all with a range of issues from heavy banding to Wi-Fi not working at all, and ended up with a Sony. I'm assuming that's Sony because there's not a Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be cool though if there's a Sont, like a new brand that came out, and like what? But seriously, what if there was a new brand called Sont? I know people say, "Oh, you're just a knockoff Sony," but like, what if it had like almost Sony processing? Like, what if it was like a step down or something? I bet people would go for it. Like low key, maybe not publicly, but low key, if you check their homes, they're like, "Yeah, I got that Sont." I couldn't get the Sony, but I got that Sont though.
The filet mignon of TVs.
Yes. But oh wow. So yeah, we're gonna get to the comments in a second. I want to put this on the screen. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm taking the scratch image off because I want to show people some of the community responses that they've encountered with this. So right now we're going to take a look here. This is Best Buy. All right, everyone's familiar with Best Buy. You're going to see Northlake because that's a Best Buy in my area. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, if y'all don't know. So if you're familiar with Atlanta, that's how most of you say, but of us natives here say Atlanta, right? If you're familiar with Atlanta, Georgia, then you'll know where Northlake is. In any case, regardless of the location, this is the Best Buy website. You can go here and check this out for yourselves. We're looking at the 77-inch Sony A95L. $5,000, right? That's a lot of money in comparison to the competition for a 77-inch. So this is a master series. So let's come down and take a look at the reviews. Now, most of the reviews are peachy. We understand everyone's going to say it's awesome. The same thing you've heard over and over again. And obviously with the picture quality and everything along that category, yes, that definitely stands. However, we're talking about the screen. So right now you can come here and look at DP88 has posted this 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was roughly about the time that Game Enthusiast got his set. He says, great picture, terrible QC. And to have terrible QC, usually that's not in the same conversation with Sony, right?
Yeah.
In any case, hopefully you all can see this. I usually try to get this as big as I can. So I'm going to highlight it. Feel free. You can go and read this anyway, but you'll just have to bear with me, y'all, because I've made it like super, super huge to make it legible. Anyway, he says, or she says, the picture quality is great. I can definitely see the improvements from the LG G3 that I had, right? So this person had the G3. However, the QC on this TV is horrible, especially for a $5,000 TV. I have these weird 3 columns on my screen that can be seen in all content. So I will definitely need to exchange my TV. Now, this is even a separate issue that I've heard, but I want to address all these issues so that everyone in the community has awareness. If you just purchased, because I see someone in the comment section, I mean, maybe others of you that either are about to receive the TV or just received the TV, I want you all to take a look out for these things. That way you can get exchanges or do whatever you need to do while you're in the return period. Because I would hate for you to miss the return window and then you discover all of this, right? So anyway, the comment continues to say, there is also these chips in the screen that in certain lighting can be seen in content. I have seen these same chips in the store models at Best Buy as well. Unacceptable for such an expensive TV. Wow, this person put, no, I would not recommend this to a friend. Ouch. Let's come down here and
there's the Sony Listens thing. What do they say about
okay,
that?
so yes, Sony Listen says, thanks for reaching out to us with your concern. While we're glad that you like its incredible picture, we regret to hear that you're having some display issues with your TV. This is not the experience that we want you to have. We want to make sure you're taken care of. Please provide us with additional details or some pictures about the issue so we can better assist you. It says, please note that we have a customer hotline that is happy to assist you to help troubleshoot any concerns you have. And your TV has a 1-year warranty from the date of purchase, okay? I guess so. I'm putting this on the screen so that if any of you encounter any of these screen scratches or issues, this is the information that Sony's going to want. They're going to want your full name. They're going to want the Best Buy username. They're going to want your telephone number, your Sony TV model number. Obviously, we're talking about the A95L. And then additional information regarding your experience with the A95L. That's essentially the issues you're having with the television set. So I have to give Sony at least credit for acknowledging. Yeah. Now, I don't know what the outcome is. I mean, hey, if you're here, if anyone from Sony would like to come on, by all means, I welcome you all. If any Sony reps or anyone that has insight from Sony on what this could be and how your customers can rectify the situation, say outside of the obvious, by all means, please reach out to me and let me know, and I will be more than happy to make this happen and let y'all have the shore, the floor. Call it the shore. Yes, you all can have the shore, the floor, yes, and the show. Put that together and it makes shore. Okay. As corny as that may be.
Yeah, spring beach balls and stuff like
exactly. that. Exactly. We'll all be ready to watch that cutie OLED greatness. So Dub is another person. 1 month ago says the A95L has the best picture I've seen, but for 5K and quality control issues, it's unacceptable. Each TV had the same issue, which was a scratch to the coating beneath the glass in various spots on the TV. Best Buy was nice and understanding, but 4 is enough right now, and I still have it waiting on another TV. And then they uploaded some pictures here. I guess you can see the scratches right here if you're able to look at the screen. I see scratches here, and I saw a second picture. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. You can see the scratches right there. And he's saying, or this person Dub is saying, it's under the coating, and that's probably why you didn't feel it, game enthusiast, because it's under the coating. So I want to get to the live chat because I have several people here that have been posting in the chat. Let's see. Jonathan Saucy, thank you for being here, y'all. If y'all haven't done so, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, not only to my channel, but also Game Enthusiast channel. You should know where his channel is. I'll put this on the screen for a second. His name is literally Game Enthusiast. Please subscribe. This is actually his unboxing, his A95L unboxing video. You all see my name here, but it's pretty much doesn't take rocket science to figure out who we are and where to go. So let's get back. I'll keep this on the screen here, and let's get back to the comments here. So Jonathan says, I have an A95L coming next Thursday. Hopefully no issues. I've seen a bunch of people on AVS forums talk about this. Yes,
So did I. Yep. So did I.
absolutely. This is a for me personally. Okay, let me give you all a very quick background on how I feel about Sony. So with me, I've had other brands. I've had every brand from Insignia, Westinghouse, the cheap brands, Sharp, Panasonic, all LG, Samsung. Right now, I have LG, Samsung, Sony in my house. I don't think I have Dell, like in terms of monitors. I've got all types of products. They're not quite TVs, but you get my drift, basically. The point that I'm making is that I used to be a super Sony fanboy, if you want to call it. It was Sony or bust for me. So all of my television sets, it had to be Sony. Sony, the picture quality, the processing, no ifs, ands, or buts, hands down. That's it, unless maybe we're talking about Panasonic, which at least wasn't readily available in the past here in the States. I mean, you can get your hands on it now, but that's a different conversation. The point that I'm making is I'm very big on Sony and for Sony. I know people see all my Samsung videos. Again, I'm very big with Sony. For me personally to spend the quote unquote Sony tax, for me to buy a Sony television set, and I know how to calibrate TVs and everything. It's not even about the calibration. The last thing I want to do is buy a Sony and have to have any type of build quality issues, take a risk with screen issues, etc., etc., etc. I'm buying a Sony so that I can just plug and play. I hook it up, whatever sound setup I'm going to do, whatever visual setup, boom, it's good. It looks great. Everything works great. Just that's it, right? And that's the experience that everyone buys into, especially at the Master Series level. Like, you know, you were talking about game enthusiasts, the A90J. I still love the A90J.
Yeah, it's great. It's a hell of a TV. I love it.
And it's so it's such a good TV that they based the A80L off of the A90J. It's just a repackaged A90J. You have the frame, the build quality, and you know, you add XR clear or such a clear image to it. One or two, you know, the game bar, a couple of the new software updates, but it's essentially an A90J. So, you know, to buy into this, and I'm not hearing this issue with any of the other Sonys. None of them, from the X90L, you know, X95, again, the A80, any of the Sony models from the bottom tier to the top, under the A95L at least, they're not having these issues. So I at first I was going to say maybe it's a Samsung display thing. But then we haven't heard of this issue being on any of the Samsung QD OLEDs. No S90Cs or 95Cs with scratches. So I would think it can't be that. It has to be something with the coating or packaging that Sony's doing specifically.
Yeah. And Jordan says something about, I think one of the people in the chat said, oh yes, Stilt said, oh yes, to answer Jonathan's, I have the 55-inch A95L, so I don't think it's no stranger to any of the sizes that you choose. For Stilts, he said it might be Sony's fault by trying to be more environmentally friendly and using less packaging materials, plastic kiloways. Because when I unboxed it, there was no plastic film for it. There was just like a plastic sheet with blue tape on the sides of the TV. I was like, huh, that's weird. I don't know, that's weird.
We could answer Steele's question too while we're at it. Steele says, was this an open box that someone else had returned and the store had just repackaged it? That's actually a great question, because that's something I didn't even think about that someone would have in mind. I'm glad you said that, Steele's, to answer your question, even though I know it's not my TV, but I can speak on behalf of game enthusiasts. He, no ifs, ands, or buts, got it brand spanking new. And you'll see that as well in the unboxing. And that's why he has that video there. So you can watch it. You can see, well, did he do anything? You know, did him or his brother screw it up in the unboxing? You'll see it was handled with care and with delicate hands. And it's not on us. It's something with Sony.
Yeah, and me and my brother, we've been unboxing like well, we didn't do unboxing videos, but this was our first unboxing video together. But we've been unboxing like TV since the B7. Like I always ask him to help me unbox a TV. So I think it's not hit. I don't think it's not. I don't think it's our fault.
No,
No, I
and
don't think.
it can't be multiple people's fault. Like, there's too many people that don't know each other that are having these issues. Let me look at. Oh yes, Jonathan. I like what he says. I'm gonna say this, y'all. If you, and this is really with any TV, it's not just the A95L. I was gonna crack a A95L joke. The question begs, should you get the warranty? Absolutely. On this note, that should be for any TV you buy. If you're going, unless you're getting a cheap TV. What do I mean by cheap? Something under $1,000.
TCL Hisense.
You know what? I would even get it though for U7K Hisense, a U8K. Like, if you're gonna go, like, it's the cheaper. It's in the cheaper range, but it's like top tier. Like, you're almost transitioning out of the like $200, $300, $400 TVs, like something like that. You don't need warranty on. But if you're gonna get something that's even competitive, to give you some type of competitive picture, you always want to get some type of warranty. Costco, you know, a lot of the membership clubs, they'll throw in the warranty with it a lot of times, or it's substantially cheaper. Again, get Total Tech. I have Total Tech at Best Buy. I just spend too much money, and I can't afford to have stuff just breaking and then not working, and me not having some type of process to just be able to jump in, because time is of the essence. I can't spend a lot of time down. Well, this is down. And on that note, this is why we're doing this stream, because many of you, this is your sole television set, right? You don't have another option. So you're going to be down from watching content. You're going to be down from gaming. You know, Game Enthusiast, he was going to do some content showing you the TV, showing you games and all of this. And now, until the return process is complete, I mean, we don't know how long it's going to be. It could be quick. It could take a long time. We don't know. But now he's down, and that's losing that quality of life, losing that experience, losing that enjoyment. And for some people, that will cause them to switch brands. Some people's like the guy that had 4 of them. You know, he might be like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. Let me just get another brand. I don't care if the processing is not as good. I don't care if it's not as clear. I don't care if it's, you know, this or that. I just want a TV that works.
It says stills. Are all the scratch TVs in the same country area? Question mark. It could be a bad batch that was delivered. That was the excuse Samsung UK gave me when I complained about having to return so many of their TVs.
That could be it. And see, this is why, again, Sony, hopefully someone from Sony is listening. I'll try to get in touch with Rob and see if he can address the community, come on my show or something to shed some type of insight. Is he aware of this? Again, I don't even know if Sony knows this is a collective issue. We saw the response, Sony listens on Best Buy, but again, I don't know yet. Hopefully we will get a response with that, but I'm doing this, and we're doing this because we want you all to have this in place so that you can at least soften the blow or have some type of understanding of what you're getting into. Because like I said, with me, I'm harder on Sony because they have that, especially a Master Series, they have that echelon that comes with them. They have that status that comes with them. And a lot of people, you know, rage out in the forums on the internet over, you know, Sony this, Sony that. I'm a fanboy, I'm a fangirl. Everything else sucks. If it's not Sony, whatever. And so I hold them to a higher standard because that's the standard too that they hold themselves to.
And the thing is that you get, so the A90J had a great unboxing experience. It hasn't, like, you know, I had no scratches on it whatsoever. So I'm going into the A95L thinking, okay, all I have to worry about is saving the money just to get it. You know, saving money for like, you know, 8 months. You know, it got delayed, and it was supposed to come out August, then September,
August.
and then August, and then it got delayed to September, and then October, and it's just okay. Well,
Yeah, we're in November now.
yeah, it's November. We're almost it's almost Black Friday, so this could be really bad for like people that are like, say if they, I don't know, I don't expect it to get like a big discount, but maybe like $100-$200 off maybe, and people are just like, they're buying TVs and then like, oh, there's scratches on here, so they have to do an exchange, and that's gonna be a nightmare.
Look at what Jonathan said. Jonathan says, if I have issues, I'll get the S90C for half the price. And so that again, that's exactly what I was talking about. I always say this. I say this at the end of my videos. I said, whether you have Sony, Samsung, LG, Hisense, TCL, whatever brand you have, at the end of the day, what truly matters, when we turn the lights off, right? When we get off the internet, when we're not talking in the forums, we're not tooting our horns with our friends and other people. When we finally shut down, right? Say even in the household, everyone's asleep. You finally got some quiet time to game, to watch content. What matters at the end of the day is your experience when you're sitting or laying or whatever you're doing, whatever your position is, in front of your television or televisions. That's what matters, regardless of the brand or whatever it is. As long as you're happy and you're like, man, I love this TV. That's what matters. And so having these types of experiences, especially when they're not expected, like we would go in, oh, I'm buying a cheap TV, so I'm expecting it to have issues, or this is an open box TV. I checked it out, but what do you know? I got issues. You're already prepared for that. And you may be able to live with it or not. But for some people, this is their first experience with Sony. I've seen people, they've been waiting for years and years and years and years. And I'm literally saying years and years and years and years and years. I've seen people wait 10 years, 12 years to buy a TV. And it's like, the Sony A95L is it. And then I'm just thinking, maybe they jumped in and bought. I don't know if that fits their scenario, but maybe they're one of them and they bought it, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? You have this experience, you're like, what did I get myself into? I didn't have this type of experience 10 years ago or 12 years or 5, whatever the time frame is. And then so it makes you start to think, maybe I should go get another TV, another brand, because we're not hearing about that. Maybe it's worth taking a hit in the quality, and that in itself, I will say, I guess so we can switch gears, since we have Samsung comment on the screen. Samsung has really stepped their game up in terms of having to worry about the build quality, and I'm gonna really say that with pretty much any TV this day. I mean, sure, some are built better than others. That's just like vehicles and products and everything under the sun. But for the most part, unless you're doing something crazy, it's not really an issue anymore. The bigger concern is my TV going to function? Is it going to work? But for the most part, unless you're doing a lot of transporting, you're going to be doing, I don't know, mount it here, mount it there. Usually that's for people like myself as a reviewer, a game enthusiast. We'll do a lot of TV transport. We have to put them side by side, put them on the wall, take them off the wall, show you this footage, show that footage. So for a reviewer, they're going to hold build quality to a higher standard. But for most consumers, you're just going to buy it, set it and forget it, mount it on the wall. As long as it holds up there, you're good. Same thing, put it on your tabletop and you're good. What's this? Yeah, I'm looking at the some of the comments right here. Before we get to the comments, what I wanted to do was let's see. Let me see if I can put this on the screen. Okay. So what we're going to look at here very quickly, this is just a Google search. You all can see here, this is the AVS forums. I'm not going to go into the AVS forums because it gets just, y'all know how it is. It's toxic. So much. Toxic. Yeah. Well, not even the toxicity. It's just that there's so many comments and then subjects get derailed, and then it's like 10 pages later, then you get back to the actual subject. So I kind of don't want to go into that, but you can see if we look at the screen, people have talked about the coding is scratched off of the screen in certain areas. 2 of the TVs, it was visible without a flashlight. 2, you needed a flashlight. I mean, so there's varying levels of scratches here. You also can see what I found here. This is another AVS Forums post, and this is about the Sony A95K.
Okay.
This was last year's King of TVs, and it says there, like this person here says, how bad are the scratches now you've cleaned it? I personally wouldn't accept scratches on the screen on a TV of this value, or any value, to be honest. 5 returns, though, you're either really unlucky or just too fussy. I went through 3 returns myself in 2020 and then gave up. But these are scratches that were on the A95K. And I just, okay, here we go. Let's see if we can see this picture. So yeah, see, look at these scratches. That's visible.
Yeah.
And so I wonder what, it's got to be some type of coding that Sony's doing. And I don't think many people may have vocalized their experience, because what happens is when it comes to Sony, everyone glosses over their issues for the most part. I mean, you have a few people that actually will talk about their issues, right? I'll talk about issues with every brand. It doesn't matter to me. Give me a brand and I'll tell you the issues about all of them. Like, I'll tell you the pros and cons. That's just, it is what it is. But a lot of people, because it's Sony and it's such a standard, people seem to forget, well, it has this problem, but whatever. And I think a lot of people that purchase the consumer aspect of it is that they feel bad to verbalize these things. You know, here it is, you bought the top tier TV, the king of TVs, and you're like, oh, by the way, I have an unacceptable issue with it. So many people probably didn't say anything. They just swapped them out and did whatever. But there's documented issues with this. And so, again, Sony, if you're listening, hello, Sony, if you're listening, I invite you, please come through and let us know what you think, and let us know a solution. If there is a solution in the works, if there are any alternatives, if there's anything that customers can do, any insight that you would like to say to the community, feel free to contact me, game enthusiasts. I know generally Rob Brennan, pops on FOMO's show and Brian's show. I'll try to reach out to Rob and see if I can get in touch with him, depending on his schedule, and see if he can address these things, if he's aware of it. This is the A95K, everyone, that you're looking at. So this was the first year QD OLED panel. So we have 2 different panels. This is the first year's panel, and then now in the A95L, it's the second gen. So it must not be the panel, since Samsung is not having this issue, and currently I don't know of any other maker that has access to the the Samsung QD OLED display technology. But it's got to be something that's going on here with the coding. I just can't. It's baffling to me, because I can't understand how the coding itself would lead to the scratches. Like, that had to have been visible in quality control. Like, okay, let's put the coding on, boom, and they would see it, and Sony would fix it, right? That's what we paying the extra cost for, the higher level of quality control, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, was the packaging was different last year too on the A95K, wasn't it?
I don't recall. I forgot seeing an unboxing on it. I just remember the A90J's packaging. I don't know the A95K's packaging. I wanted to get it, but I couldn't afford it at the time. So, were they talking more about the sustainability again last year too? Because I seemed like they made it a bigger deal. They made it a bigger deal earlier this year with the A95L in the 2023 lineup, I believe. You know, they had the stuff like they had they talked about the packaging, and they talked about the eco dashboard too. But they also actually, I was on my Instagram, and I follow Sony Electronics, and one of the things they that showed on the reel was like, because of our packaging, we're able to fit more TVs in our trucks, therefore saving fuel costs and stuff like that. Something like that, saving those emissions or something.
Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find that. I'm not sure.
It's on Instagram. Like if you can go on Sony Electronics. And
on their Instagram.
Yeah, on their Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find that real quick. I'm not gonna make any super promises. I can conveniently pull it up, but I'll try to see if I can pull it up. Is it? I'm on Sony's site. Is it like Sony TVs or is it
Sony Electronics? Sony
Electronics.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. See if I can. Okay, I found them. Let's see if I can find that post. Do you remember what the cover?
It was like a white, like showing box. There it is, right there.
Is this it here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's look at this. I see what you're saying. By reducing packaging, we can deliver more. Sony Bravia it says in one trip, which reduces trucks on the road, leading to lower CO2 emissions. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So this is the truck with all the TVs.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
You know what's crazy though? You would think though, if they're packaged in like this, they really wouldn't get damaged.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I mean, they're protected by themselves, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is crazy. I want to get to some more comments.
Yeah.
What is it? Let's see. Michael Burton says, was thinking to go with Sony, but this news just hit me. I just saw my man unboxing with his people too. Wow. Like, yeah, this news, I'm not happy about this news at all. Like this, me personally, if this doesn't get rectified, this would push me at least to a A90L. I can't really go LCD again. I'm like vested in the whole OLED universe,
yeah,
so to speak. I can deal with LCD, but I just know I'm not gonna buy, not for one of my main television sets. I can't deal with blooming anymore. I've dealt with it for so many years. Now that I'm free of it, I was like, no, but yeah.
And here's the thing. Sorry. And here's the thing. I bought it from Value Electronics, and I told Robert about it, and we're doing the exchange right now. It's going smoothly. I sent all the pictures and stuff, so we're just waiting. And he said just to enjoy like the TV for now. And the TV, I was just playing Spider-Man 2 just before this live stream. And it looks great. It's just that knowing that it has those scratches, it's just it bothers me. Like I'm kind of like a perfectionist. I try to be anyway, but like knowing that, it's kind of annoying that it's there. It's like I know it's there, but I can't really clean it. I can't use a microfiber cloth to clean it off. It's just I tried doing it. I was like, no, it's not. It's just staying there. Yeah,
it's just not working.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning, it's like even when I showed Robert the picture, it's like, wow, that's like a lot, like a lot more than usual.
Yeah, that's crazy. I like what I kind of want to comment with what Michael's saying, because I know people have these questions. I know others have answered it, but they haven't heard it over here. Michael says, I would go or stick with Samsung, but I'm hearing issues with the One Connect box in this year's model. The S95C is now 40 basically gigabytes per second instead of 48 or whatnot. Now, I will say this. The only issue, okay, is if you're a PC player. Like if you are going to connect your television to a PC or vice versa, PC to the TV, TV to PC, same thing, right? Same outcome. Those are the only people that are going to experience this issue. The dropouts, the screen blacking out, you're not going to have any issue unless you're a PC individual that's going to tap into 144 hertz. For everyone else that have consoles, you're only going to get 120 anyway. And whether it's 4K or 1080p, you're not going to have any issues. It's not going to drop out. The 40 gigabytes is more than enough. All right, the consoles themselves. Remember, the PS5 actually only uses like 32, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think
like
32.
It's like 32 gigabytes itself. So the PS5 is not even capable of 40, let alone 48. So you're not going to experience any dropouts on the PS5 for sure.
Yeah.
And I've never had any issues. That I don't have the S95C personally, but I've seen it. I've been around it. I've been able to play with it. And I haven't had any issues because unless you're hooking up a PC, you're not. The Xbox does use like 40, but again, it's not 48. And right now, the consoles, like, I don't know, maybe if the PS6 or whatever that's coming out and all this stuff, maybe they will.
Probably 2028, I bet.
Because, y'all, it's not going to be an issue. So unless you're a PC player, you're not going to have an issue with the ports and stuff with Samsung with the One Connect box. The only issue I will say with the One Connect box is just to make sure with your setup that the cord running from the TV to the One Connect box, make sure you have enough length for that to like attach your other stuff. That might be the only issue. And if that is an issue, you can always get the S90C. You're not going to have an issue. 48, gigabyte ports. All right. You don't have a One Connect box. Again, you're going to experience the dropouts if you hook up a PC and try to run 144 hertz. If you run a PC, you're fine at 120 or less, right? No TV is ready. I know Brian had mentioned this. A couple other people mentioned this. I'm going to mention it too. No TV right now is ready for 144 hertz. It's just, it's like almost like, okay, I did it just to say I could do it. And they put it on there like it hit it. It can do it. But it's not something that I would fully bank on. And generally, I like to say that with any bleeding edge technology, right? The first year of any bleeding edge technology or the first product to have it, it may function fine, but it's not going to function and be refined and perfected like it would be on a second, third, fourth, subsequent year, as well as if other products got. Like that's what Apple does. Like Samsung is the number one innovator, at least when it comes to these phones and this technology. They do risky things. They started to fold phones and they'll have all these options. And then Apple will come back a year to whatever time frame later, take that same technology and perfect it to where it runs flawless, right? And that almost reminds me of what Sony does. We're still waiting on some things outside of the image processing. Now they have the leadership with that and the sound quality. They've got those two hands down. I mean, it's Sony. Sony, that's what they do. Pictures, music, etc. But outside of those areas, they usually take the technology later and then like perfect it. So when we get it, mine is better. I don't have any issues with it. I'm trying to look in the chat here because I like to address people's questions. Let's see. Jonathan is asking a good question. He says, how much of a difference do you feel there is between WOLED and QD-OLED? If someone is used to QD-OLED, would WOLED be a noticeable downgrade? Take it.
So I had the A90J, and that won the King of TVs in 2021. And when I went on the A95L, I played Spider-Man 2 because it didn't arrive on Friday like I hoped. So I just played the game still on my A90J waiting for it. So when I switched TVs and played it on there, I noticed the difference. Like the color volume, like the color intensity was noticeable. Like it was more colorful. Like the A90J looked good, but it looked, I wouldn't say washed out, but a little bit muted. Just just a teeny bit. It was bright. Like, I was playing a lot. The game I was playing the most, I put, you won't believe this, 356 hours in Miles Morales. Just,
Oh, nice.
beating. The story is short. The story is short. I just swung around before Spider-Man 2, just swinging around, changing the weather. Like, I put the weather at like sunset with heavy snow, and every single time when I'm going down the street where the sun is showing, it's like the A90J was like, it was a bit bright. I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bright. But like when I'm playing Spider-Man 2, it's like it's a bit more poppy. It's more poppy. I noticed it when I played it, and I noticed it when I was playing it since I got the A95L in the morning, and my room was kind of like was a bit like bright because the sun's out. I still noticed the difference. So
wow, even with the sun.
Yeah, so I think it's a noticeable difference. If you there's something that for Jonathan, there's something that TKK, all about TKK, said when he was comparing the to help you, the S95C to the A95L. If you want your video games to look like a comic book, get the S95C. If you want your video games to be a bit more like a movie, get the A95L. So that even before I saw it, I kind of, okay, I know what he meant by that. Because a comic book is like very poppy, very shocking. Samsung's like, style, their philosophy is a bit more poppy, a bit more saturated, while Sony's is a bit more natural. So I'd say overall it's noticeable coming from an A90J, a Sony TV, to an A95L, another Sony TV. Both trying to do more natural color options, and I noticed the difference.
Yes, I will say, you okay. You definitely can notice it in terms of the color.
Yes.
I will say outside of the color, you're not going to notice pretty much any other difference. And I will say, to the credit of WRGB OLED, the whites are going to be brighter. I know that's what Game Enthusiast was just saying. He was on the A90J. He said it was definitely bright. When it comes to the whites, you're going to get that with your WOLED. So that's something to keep in mind, depending on the game, depending on what you like. You'll get more there. And I mean, hey, if I know it's not the same, I know you may lose some accuracy, but if you got to have more color, just add the color. Nothing's wrong with, and I tell people this all the time. I give people recommended settings and I always say, use this as a foundation and then adjust from there. So if you want more color, I mean, turn on the color. Sure, it's not going to be exactly the same, but at least if you're going like OLED to OLED, you're going to get most of your palette satisfied. I often game side by side with my wife, and my wife actually games on the Samsung S95B. Yes, my wife is a gamer. She has her own PS5. She has her own Nintendo Switch. Like every console that I have, she has her own. She has her own controllers, like on everything. Like, people be shocked, but they know we're a household full of gamers. My son games. Everyone in this household games, right? We all have our own consoles. That's what's crazy. And so she games on the Samsung. She's got the QD OLED panel, right? I game on the LG. I still game on the C2. So I have the W OLED. And honestly, I see the difference. I see the extra pop, and it is there. But I'm satisfied enough with the W OLED, and I have to stress that you will be satisfied enough that it's a decision that you can live with. For instance, Brian, Whisper Status, Brian's Tech Therapy, he revealed his TV. He got 83-inch A80L. Now, many people were surprised he needed that size, and he knows how awesome the A95L is. But however, that OLED, it's still OLED, and it still satisfies. It checks the boxes. So I wouldn't just say, oh man, it's not. I know it's not the latest and greatest technology, but I still wouldn't rule it out, because you're going to get whites. They're going to be bright, especially if you're looking at a Sony. You're going to get the heat sinks and all the putting the sauce in the right spots. That's what Sony does. They just place it where it needs to be. I mean, really with any TV, I would say. Same thing with the LGs. I mean, LG, they kind of dropped the ball, honestly, this year. They're not what they were last year with the two models like the C2, the G2. We could even say go back into the ones and so on. Hopefully this year coming up in 2024 with the 4 models, hopefully they do answer a lot of questions and bring that oomph back. But even so, still, it'll check a lot of boxes. And I just don't want you all to rule them out because you're chasing, I got to have the best. I got to have the best. Because in isolation, your eyes, and you're going to get used to it. It's still going to give you an SDR. You're going to get this pretty much the same image. It's only in HDR that you're going to really feel the extra colors with the QD OLED panel.
So I'd have to say, it's not about what's the best. It's about what's best for you. What TV meets your needs. That's what's like the most important.
Absolutely. We always have to stress that. What is your use case? What are you watching? What are you doing? You know, what are you hooking up to it or not? What's your environment? What's your budget? Like, there's so many questions that goes into answering these things here. So keep that in mind with the TV. I just would keep that in mind. Yeah, Stills is right. Let me see. Stills said, realistically, there's not much need to go beyond 120 hertz unless you're that, 0.0001% of hardcore professional FPS gamers. And I am that 0.001. Like I said, for ages, I've been gaming on monitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would casually play on the console, maybe if you could call it professionally. I mean, now I pretty much use my C2 as my go-to professional monitor. And trust and believe, I get to drop on people every single time. That fraction of a millisecond or whatever you want to call. I know some people say they can't see it. I can.
Okay.
And I know I'm not the only one. It makes it seem like there's some people that just can't see it. I see the difference between gaming on a Sony competitively, mind you. So when we're talking about shooters, right? If you play any shooters,
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. If you hook up a PCS, you play CSGO. If you're playing Destiny, Halo, Aliens, I love Aliens Fireteam Elite. Any of those, I will get the drop on the Xenos, the droids, somebody else. If we're playing like Crucible on Destiny, whatever it is, I will get the drop on you. Trust me, I will get the drop on you if I'm playing on a set outside of my Sony's. If I'm playing on a Sony, you're most likely going to get the drop on me. Now, I love the picture quality, no question about it. But if you play competitively, right, and you are the type of individual is that 0.00001 and you're used to playing on gaming monitors. Now, this scenario does not fit the majority of people out there. This fits a smaller group. But if that does pertain to you, and these are solely the type of games you play, maybe fighting games as well and racing games, you can really notice that fraction of a millisecond, depending on what you're doing. Maybe you just have to test it out, right? I'm not saying it's not, but you have to test it out and see if it works for you. And how much do you care about playing competitively? For me, it's serious because people expect a lot of me. I put my name out as far as Iceman and Bob on PlayStation. Everybody knows me. So if they see me join a game, right? I'm randomly just playing games and I don't even know these people, but these people know me, right? So if I'm sucking, they could do a video about it and put it out. Hey, Iceman and Bob, he sucks, he can't shoot, he can't do this, he can't do that. So for me, it's important, and then I like to accomplish tasks and get the job done. So I'm usually like the reliable person in gaming. It's like, yeah, we can rely on him. He'll, carry us through. I'm carrying people through. I'm teaching people and stuff like that. So I have to have that fraction of a millisecond. So if that is important to you when they do those input lag numbers. They really do make a difference. You hit that button, you need whatever it is to happen. So if that's you, you may have to go with an LG or a Samsung. I mean, Sony, what I like about the A95L, and it's gotten so much closer, but what happens is Sony has just a pinch of a lag because they're giving you that image processing. If they took that image processing, they will dead smack match the input lag of every other brand that's, competitive, at least Samsung and LG. But we would lose that, that extra oomph in the processor. So Sony's not willing to do that. And I will say until the technology advances or the price tag comes down on said technology, because again, Sony could do it, but then they would pass that cost on to us, and then it would be even a higher price. And folks were like, nah, I mean, only the purists would go for it. I would do it if it was reasonable. Like if it was obtainable, Sony could have the exact same milliseconds, and they have the, the chips and chipsets and everything so good, and you can get the full process and image quality. Oh yeah, all day. Sony. I'll forego the HDMI inputs and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll just run it.
Yeah, I'll say like for example, I'm gonna bring up Spider-Man 2 again because that game is I'm enjoying that game a lot. It has the settings where it has fidelity and 120 hertz mode. So when you have fidelity and 120 hertz set to auto, you can choose smooth or on cap. So I pick smooth. So what that's cool is that I get the fidelity of the visual mode, but I also get a little bit better frame rate. So that's
nice.
like, so it's good for, like, I guess Sony would be, I guess, preferable to like single player games maybe. And you just want to have like the best performance meets like fidelity experience on there. Like I'll play like Modern Warfare 3 is coming out like tomorrow, so about midnight. And I'm like, I don't mind it because also one of the things that made me go into the A95L was the Dolby Vision gaming aspect, because I was very interested in that, because I'm the kind of person whenever you have to set up HDR in a game, I'm just like, okay, that's black. Is that black? Is that close to black? Is that enough? Okay, all right. Is this wide? All right, the white thing matches the white rectangle matches that right rectangle. I don't. Dolby Vision helps me not having to worry about that. So I was playing Assassin's Creed Mirage, which supports Dolby Vision game. It's like, this looks good. For me, it was not too dim, not too bright. And I was playing the campaign. I pre-ordered Modern Warfare 3 digital. The campaign's not good, but it was at the beginning of a Russian gulag at night.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this looks good. I can see detail in the dark areas, and I'm excited to learn, because here's something. Even before I got the A95L, I got some games on sale, like on the Microsoft Store, and I just looked up like Dolby Vision games, like games that run Dolby Vision on there. So because I wanted to do cover content, and see how would that look on a Sony, because it's always been with LG and Hisense, I believe, right?
Correct.
LG, Hisense, and was TCL part of it too, or no?
I don't think TCL, like, I'm gonna say no. TCL, maybe some of their sets now are able to pull it off, maybe the QM8 or something like that now, but I really wouldn't include them in that conversation.
Okay.
They just, I mean, maybe coming up this year, that could be a strong point for TCL to talk, to throw around. But right now, no, it's just Hisense, LG, and Sony. Obviously, Samsung, they're not in the Dolby Vision conversation, but
nope, they don't want it.
They pay. Samsung not paying.
No.
I mean, and I get it, because like FOMO has talked about this, and a lot of people, and I've mentioned this. I did a video, right? I did a video a while back. It was my let me see if I can find it. It was my Halloween video.
Mhm.
And I showed the difference between Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus. And
Mhm.
like most people saw it and they really couldn't like
Tell the difference.
you really can't, because they trade blows. There'll be a few times where Dolby Vision may look better, and then there's other times where HDR10 Plus looks better. But overall, HDR10 Plus is more consistent, because I know there's like more metadata. I get all the technical aspect. That's all people say. Well, Dolby Vision has more metadata, but the metadata is not always. How can I say? The source is not always accurate with that metadata. Okay,
Yeah.
the disc itself may only display so much.
Mhm.
If it's a streaming source, it may have a container that says it has the metadata, but is it actually being unpacked? And yeah, here we go. So I'll put this on the screen if anyone wants to go back and look at this. So I have two videos that I put out here. It was called a Halloween comparison. Oh, so it was a part 1 and part 2. So we're looking at the LG C2 with Dolby Vision versus the Samsung S95B with HDR10. I put 10, but y'all know what I mean. I couldn't fit the plus in the title because they only give you so many characters, but y'all know what I mean. So you can see here, does the difference really matter? And most people said it really doesn't. Same thing, I did a part 2. And you can kind of just even look at the preview here. Look at how close they are. Yeah, I know it's flashing very quickly, but like, okay, like for instance, you're not going to really see like a substantial enough difference. Let me see.
And the thing is that with here's the thing, it's hard to know what games are in Dolby Vision because Microsoft supports Dolby Vision on their Xbox, but on their Microsoft Store, they say things like certain games will say like technical capabilities, they'll say Dolby Atmos, but it doesn't say Dolby Vision. But also,
correct.
But the only sure way if you can tell if a new game is on using Dolby Vision is if you look on the back of the game case. That's how I found out Assassin's Creed Mirage supports Dolby Vision. I looked at the back, and it's like, lo and behold, it has Dolby Vision. It has Dolby Vision on one of the features on there. So, just
absolutely.
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't even. I went and just jumped straight into the video. But like this is what I'm talking about. Okay, the camera exposure, as mentioned, favors the C2 because when you have two different panel technologies, one is going to get favor over the other. But nonetheless, so if it looks like the S95B is darker, that's why. So take the brightness out. But when you're looking at the overall color of the images, I mean, you're seeing the QD OLED panel, but like the overall representation is essentially the same. It's not like, again, take the brightness out of the equation. This is what we're talking about. Take the brightness out of the equation. So imagine they're the same brightness. You're not really getting like a significantly different image. If you take the again, because in person, they were just right. But at the time, I don't even remember which camera I was using to film this. And again, it just favored one. So people say, well, I like the LG better because it's brighter. See, Dolby Vision's better. But I was like, I'm telling you, that's not the case because we all know that the S95B is brighter than the C2. So it's definitely not like that particular issue. But they're essentially, I have tons. I have probably I must have like 1,000 Blu-ray discs and DVD. I've got tons of like media, downloaded movies and all types of stuff. I've got things from Cody, all types of. I got content everywhere. When I say everywhere, content literally everywhere. All the streaming apps, I subscribe to just about all of them. I pay for them all. I got multiple streaming devices, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a significant enough difference. I had that issue before. I was so big on like, I can't lose Dolby Vision. Screw Samsung. I can't lose Dolby Vision. There's no way I'll get a Samsung in terms of like a premium TV. No way. Like, yeah, maybe it's just a cheap TV for a guest bedroom or something you don't care about. No way. I made the jump and I don't have any regrets about it. I don't feel like I'm losing anything when it comes to it. Now, I understand what people say, like, oh, I can't watch this and do that. I mean, you can. You're just going to see it in HDR10, and Samsung does such a good job with it. You're not going to be like, oh man, my Dolby Vision content sucks, because again, Dolby Vision has an issue. I'm going to back up real quick and come out of this because I thought I had it on the screen and I was talking, and obviously I did not. So let me try to pull the cover up if y'all want to look at that, because it's always easier for you to see it on your own. So right here, I have two videos of part 1 and part 2, where they were a Halloween comparison that I did last year. I didn't do one this year. I just didn't have the time. But you'll see a lot of, again, they're like all scenes from scary movies or shows or what have you. Again, Halloween comparison. And you'll see HDR10 versus Dolby Vision. So feel free to check that out on your own time. I don't know. Maybe in the future, when it get things in line. And then I know, like with the A95L, it will lift, it's especially in terms of the grayscale, it will lift the brightness with Dolby Vision. So you see it, but it's not completely accurate, which is kind of crazy because we're talking about a Sony and the whole Sony accuracy. And honestly, let me just set the record straight, right? Because Classy Tech has said this. I'm saying this, and many other people say this. I don't care what TV you buy. If it has not been professionally calibrated, it's not 100% accurate. The A95L, the X95, I don't care what Sony A90J, it may be closer. You may adjust the settings and get it closer. But unless you hook up equipment, unless you got a spectrometer, a colorimeter, you got the software, you got the understanding, you know how, you take the time, calibrate this mode, that mode. Unless you have had it professionally calibrated, it's not going to be 100% accurate.
Oh, and
there's just no way. Not at this time. No brand, no TV, not even Sony. I stand behind that. Anybody can hold me to that. But any of the experts will tell you that no TV, all right? You're closer, correct. You may be closer than another brand, but no TV, not Panasonic, no TV is 100% accurate. Why? For the simple fact that we have panel variants. So even with the same model TV, with the same brand, one may be more accurate or less accurate than the other. They generally try to keep them close. Try to give you consistency. That's the quality control, but they're not 100% accurate. So just want to put that out there for the accuracy heads.
I wanted to shout out Stills for listing like the current Dolby Vision games. That's
nice.
He has like 3 separate conferences, including this one, all of them. Yeah, and they're
so we're gonna put them on the screen. I'll put all 3 of them up.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do it together, but
that way people can pause like after the stream's over and just look, because they're kind of hard to look for. Like sometimes Microsoft will have like a list that says Dolby Vision games and just list them, but the list can be outdated a bit. So for example, Modern Warfare 2, this last year's Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. They support Dolby Vision gaming as well, but they just don't have it. They just don't have it like they have it on the Dolby website, like a certain part of the Dolby website. But but it does support Dolby Vision, the Vision gaming. Like it looked good playing Modern Warfare 3 on there. So
I've got to try to check. Maybe I'll get a video out showing. I'm going to try, for those of you that are still here, I'm going to try to get some more gaming videos out. I know many of y'all see the TVs and I put gaming content out and doesn't get the same reception, but I'm going to do it regardless. Because this is Iceman and Bob Tech and gaming, right? So I do have to show some type of gaming, even if it's older games or whatever. A lot of these games on this list, some of them are older games.
Maybe you should do like a Nintendo Switch video, just seeing like which TV does upscaling the best. Like I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I think I did. I want to say I did something because I remember talking about Zelda on it, but I need to do a recent. I'm gonna get some more like game content out. It's been a lot of checking this out, new updates,
Yeah.
this going on. I have a updated video also. I guess while we're talking about our content, I'll kind of wrap mine up. Definitely jump in any future plans. I know we were hoping to get the A95L content out, so we'll kind of
Yeah.
maybe push the pause button on that. I have the calibrated versus semi-calibrated versus calibrated firmware 1602 for the S95B. I have the content captured. I just have to finish editing the video and then I'll upload it. That should be out in a couple of days. And I want to get to, I'm going to release another video letting everyone know that the game that I play all the time, Aliens Fireteam Elite, a lot of people in the community play it, especially if you're an Aliens fan. They now have the game for free. It's been free on Game Pass for Xbox, but they now have it for free on PlayStation for the month. So if this is something that you're looking for as far as the monthly games, might be a good time to get into it. Let me just put an image up so people know what I'm talking about. I guess I will do, let's just look at this real quick.
I wonder when Starfield's going to do that. They're going to do an update where they're going to update the HDR calibration menu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, people were complaining about that. Okay.
So this is the game. It's a fun game because of the update, the quality of life patch that they issued. So if you're getting into it for the first time, you're going to jump in with that. And it refined a lot of things. So there's people out on Discord. I mean, obviously, if you get the game, please hit me up. I will walk you through every difficulty, everything. If you want to play it, get back into it. It's definitely a fun game to play with people. And even when you repeat, it's different each time, because before it was repetitive. Like it seemed like the Xenos, the Wayland Yutani Tech droids and stuff that would come out. It seemed like they would do the exact same motions, but now everything is unique. They respond differently. They do stuff. They come in a different spot. This is a game you cannot get caught slipping. If you blink, you're gonna die, especially on the harder difficulties. You cannot even blink because they will just come out and get you. Even when you think, okay, I'm done fighting, boom, something come out and it will murk you. It'll be something strong and you're done. So that's what is now free on PlayStation for the monthly games. I'll talk about it, do a video. That's kind of sort of all I have right now. Maybe a follow-up if I hear from Sony about the screen scratches. We'll follow up with that.
Yeah.
I don't have any other videos. I'll try to stream. I used to stream on Twitch all the time, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get into that. Do you have anything coming up, game enthusiasts, in the short term at least?
I think I'm just going to just play some games. Still just enjoy the TV. I don't know. I feel like I do want to talk about the Dolby Vision gaming aspect of it and seeing how it benefits me. And then there's also the A95L game menu benefits with the thing. So I'm going to be doing some brainstorming.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to that because, like I said, I love the TV. If it would, I mean, I know there's no such thing as a perfect TV, but if it did have these scratches on it, it's kind of heartbreaking to say the least.
Yeah.
Like it's like you fall in love, right? I mean, I don't know how many of y'all in the community has fallen in love. I mean, I definitely have fallen in love being in a married, but it's like you fall in love, right? Oh man, this is the TV, everything I wanted. This long term, I might have to go down the aisle with this TV. You know what I'm saying? I can rock with you for a long time, but it's been a long time since I've been looking for a TV that could go the distance. And you, girl, no, let me not equate the TV to a woman. I might have some people leaving some interesting comments on that note, but y'all know what I mean. It's been a long time coming. And so like Sony, okay, for me personally, I think the A90J was it. And now I feel like the A95L is it again.
Yeah.
And this is not to knock any of the other Sonys, not to knock the A95K or any of the other models. They're all great. That's not what I'm saying, but it's like the A90J was the one that, like, I could be married to that TV. Like, I could keep the A90J for a long time. And even if a new young PYT, pretty young TV, y'all
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what I did there?
yeah.
And the new pretty young TV come out, I wasn't tempted to have to go chase or have to go get or whatever you want. However y'all roll, right? I don't know how y'all get down, but I wasn't distracted by that. I'm good with my A90J. Now I feel that way about the A95L. However, I'm heartbroken because of the scratches.
Yeah.
And that's something that's going to affect you in every single encounter. It's not like it's like, okay, it was only in game mode or it's only in this, this setting or whatever. I'll just turn this off. You can't get away from that. Even when the TV's off, right? Like, what if you have company folks like, hey man, ain't that new Sony A95L? That's an expensive TV, right? That one that costs all that money. Oh, you got it? Bet you got it? Yeah. Hey dog, what's wrong with your screen, man? What you talking about, man? Be like, what you talking about, Willis? Look, we be denying it, ignoring. What you talking about? Look, then we have to play it off. Man, you got some scripts. Is that scratches on your screen? Wait a minute, let me get all up in this thing. And they gonna like, nah, man. I just need to clean my screen, man. You know how it is, the screen dirt. I just gotta buff it out. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I gotta go into the other room, go get my microfiber cloth, and man, I'll do it for no, don't touch my Sony now. This is my Sony. You can leave it alone. That's y'all have to understand. It's not a funny situation, and I really hope that Sony addresses this or someone in the community really addresses this, because it's heartbreaking for me, and I don't even have the TV. And I'm gonna tell you why, as someone who doesn't have the TV, but I've seen the TV and seen it calibrated.
We both seen it.
Obviously, we both seen it, and Game Enthusiast has it. It like, I can't make a jump into purchasing the TV knowing this issue's out here without some type of recourse, because I'm just going to be spending, okay, I got to go take it back, do this. With me, I know it's going to be drive back to the warehouse or drop this one off to the store and then go back to the warehouse and pick it up because the store is out of inventory or whatever. And I may not have that experience. Maybe I'll get a cherry picked, TV.
But the panel lottery.
Yeah, I may win the panel lottery. And maybe some of the other reviewers or owners as well have won the panel lottery. Maybe it is a bad batch. Maybe it's just a certain region. It's localized. But regardless, it's not fair to whoever, wherever you live. If that is the case, everyone should get the same experience with Sony, no matter where you are in the world. If you have access to it, if you got the money, the bread to get it, you should get the same experience. So hopefully we'll get some type of answer or recourse about how this situation could end. Maybe it is just a bad batch. Okay, now you can go buy a Sony. Rest assured, you shouldn't have that type of issue or something. Who knows? We'll have to do a follow-up and see what's what. We'll definitely let you all know. We're also going to let you all know when Game Enthusiast gets his replacement set, because I'm hoping and praying, fam. As the kids say, bruh. That's what even the girls call each other bros. Bruh, I'm hoping the TV don't have the same issue when you get the replacement. Like, I'm seriously gonna have a cow. Like, I'm gonna have a Tommy Davidson conniption fit if your replacement screen has scratches in it. Like, look at what Steele said. Look what Steele said. Oh, Steele said get an angle grinder.
Well, the thing is, the unfortunate thing is, I talked to Robert, and he says that those TVs that he has, I guess Best Buy too, they'll probably have those scratches, but probably not as much. Yeah, that's what he says. I don't want to get him like in trouble or anything.
Oh yeah. No, this is I'm pretty. This is just general information, y'all. I'm pretty sure there's nothing to get. I can't see that really coming back on Robert.
Yeah.
Because it's just the consensus. It seems like wherever Sony sent their allocations to,
Yeah.
maybe if it's just a United States thing,
Yeah.
it could just be a U.S. region thing. It may not be East Coast, West Coast, North or South or Mid, or it could just be U.S. I mean, I don't know. We don't know, but we're putting these things out so that hopefully with you all in the community, anyone else, any experts in the community, they can chime in somehow, some way, and let us figure out what's going on. Because we all love Sony TVs.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all the brands. They all bring their special sauce and flavor that you can't get from any other brand. They all have that oomph. So, but we definitely like Sony with the standard that they set. They set the benchmark. They're kind of like the BMW, 3 Series or whatever, the Beamer of performance sports sedans or sport cars. Usually BMW sets the benchmark. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But yes, still says fingers crossed. Yes, look, cross your fingers, cross your toes. Say some prayers, and not only for game enthusiasts, but for everybody, for you watching now, coming back later. I hope that, and was it Dub and DP88? I hope all of y'all get your situations rectified without having to go replacement after replacement after replacement for Sony, and really any brand. While we're on this subject, I just hope you all win the lottery as well as the panel lottery.
Yeah.
If you win the lottery, come break your boys off at least with a TV, right? Like if you hit it big, like, hey, so can y'all can y'all hook us up with that TV? You know what I'm saying?
And still, do the scratches match up with where packing materials make contact? So I'll tell you still. So I'm doing the outline of the TV, and this is where the scratches are mostly at. Like I have the Broadway cam right here. It's like right around here, but everywhere else, like the bottom, this part, the up, a little bit of the upper left, like there are no scratches there. Just that like upper right quarter. If you can understand, that's where it's mostly at. You can see.
I'm gonna put that back up on the screen.
Yeah.
Game enthusiasts, I'm gonna try to pull that up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So they can see the.
Yeah, so mostly like the upper right of this screen. So you can actually, I have a YouTube short on my channel, and you can see me like angle it to where you can see all of it. Like if you want to look more into it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely check. Like I said, check Game Enthusiasts information out. We're here in the community. Y'all know what we do. Again, my number one concern for you all is to make sure that you all are happy. I'm not like tech therapy. I mean, I guess maybe I am to some extent. I do what I do so that everything can be documented. It's logged. You all can see what's what. The big brands can see what's what. They can use that as reference. Other people can. And you can have that so you know which course to take, which route to go. You're not just left, do I do this? Do I not? Can I go here? And so that's why we're doing this stream. It was a big concern. I thought it was an isolated thing. I know it's ironic we're at the end of the stream and we're telling you how the stream got started, but I thought it was an isolated thing when Game Enthusiasts had called me and let me know his experience. And I was like, oh man, this sucks. And then he started filling me in about other people in the community having this experience. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, no one else is talking about this. Someone has to at least say something and put this out here. Again, not to knock Sony, because our job is not to knock the brands. What we're doing as consumers is bringing information not only to us but to the brands as well, and hopefully the brands can step in and do what they do to rectify it and give us some type of resolution.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do, not, oh, this brand sucks, or haha, I'm skipping here. And obviously, I mean, we're all grown and sexy, so we're gonna make our decisions and do what we must. You know, if you got to get another brand, I mean, I ain't mad at you. It's your money, it's your time, it's, you know, your life. So you do what you got to do. If you got to switch brands, hey, run it. Maybe Sony will say something and they'll do whatever. And then maybe at your next upgrade or your second or third or whatever TV, then hey, you can jump back in with Sony. Or maybe you could sell, you know, maybe upgrade if that's the case. If you're encountering this over and over again and Sony hasn't said anything, or you don't like what their response is, then hey, get another brand. You could turn back around and sell it. You know, keep that in mind. Mention, hey, I'm gonna sell my TV around August or September of next year. You know, generally that's when Sony's going to release their A95M, if they're not going to do what they did with the A90J and just run the A95L for the next 2 or 3 years. It is a master series and they can do that, but I know the pressure of technology has forced them to kind of update. So I don't know. We'll see. It's a 2024 model in 2023, and I really believe that's why it actually won. That's just my professional insight. It's like the futuristic tech that the other models didn't have yet. And so that really pushed Sony over the edge. So I suspect we'll see at CES and in the coming months after, if Samsung and LG, Samsung has to release, here's what I'm going to say. Since the A95L is the bomb.com, minus these other issues, let's just take that out, just the picture quality and all that and the sound, Samsung is going to have to step up their sound quality. And they're going to have to offer some type of upscaling, like low bit, low res, upscaling. Like, I know they have something, but like they're going to have to step it up and put it in a similar ballpark as Sony. It's not going to be the same. I mean, well, I don't want to say it's not. We don't know what technology will bring, but it needs to be in the same ballpark. LG has the upscaling, and remember at the TV shootout, LG actually, a lot of the judges preferred the LG's upscaling because LG leaves it natural. Like, they like, this is what it looks like. We're not going to enhance it, even though we know if we were to enhance it, it would look better. Now, that's Sony's philosophy. Sony says we're going to take it, enhance it, make it look better. It's more pleasing, right? But LG actually upscaled better with a natural thing. But they're going to have to bring MLA to the C3. It's going to have to be on all sizes of the G series, the G4, say shy of the smaller, like the monitor, like 42, 48 inches. And I will say, if they bring MLA to those, oh, they got to win. Like, I will automatically upgrade right now if they had MLA on the smaller screen sizes. I think a lot of people that use their panels as monitor and stuff like that, they would hands down go do it. And they just got to run that MLA. That's the only way they're going to survive. If they do what they did, and fix the game mode. They can't have the game mode that they had this year. No workarounds, no going into other picture modes and ALM and all that. No, we're not doing that. Just like at Sony out of the box, LG was known for plug and play. It needs to work properly. So we'll see what it's going to bring. We're in November. Like I said, January with CES is going to be here before we know it. Hopefully we'll hear something before then with Sony.
They might just skip out.
Fingers crossed.
They might just skip out CES and do their own thing like they did this year, maybe. They're probably
I believe. I believe. I mean, honestly, with Sony, I can't see them doing too much though for 2024, other than rolling the software that's on the A95L to perhaps all of their models, like for 2024. Perhaps getting a new SoC, MediaTek or whatever may jump in. They may get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. People will buy the Sony just for that alone. They'd be like, okay, it could be the old model. So, I got 4 ports. I'm in.
Nintendo Switch 2 is going to do 4K 120 hertz, guaranteed. I'm kidding. There, I don't think Nintendo's going to do that.
I mean, Nintendo, like, if their 1080p looks so clean.
Yeah, it does.
Um, and we have multiple switches in the house. We have the Switch OLED as well.
Me,
My
I have
wife
the Switch
actually
OLED.
yeah, I game on the regular LCD Switch because I don't game enough
Yeah,
for me to have warranted to upgrade. I thought about it and I was like, I barely play it. I barely get time to play. So for me, it's always now. My wife plays daily. You would think I would be the bigger gamer, but no, that I gotta. My wife beats me hand down.
Mhm.
She gets more gaming in, and you would just not believe. Everybody be shocked. Like, what? You game? You what? You actually good? Like, yeah, she's actually good. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully, we'll hear back from Sony. Man, I just I don't know. Maybe this will start another conversation in the community. And again, I'll see if I can get in touch with Rob Brennan. I may also see we can reach out to Chirac. I don't know if he knows anything because it's not happening with Samsung, but he may understand some
like
information
the
with that.
process,
So
the manufacturing, and
yeah, any insight. So we'll try to reach out to them, see what responses we get, see if they can get on the show. As far as them being on our live streams or the show, it just depends on their time and their schedule. Everyone's crazy busy. Everyone has a lot to do, and it may or may not be possible. We just have to see. So stay tuned.
Mhm.
We'll do whatever it is that we can do. We told y'all what we have coming up. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit that notification bell. Get the likes up. Comment. We definitely appreciate you all support. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I've got less than 100. Like, I don't know, 90 something. Might be 80 something. So once I get there, then I'm able to do a lot more. I'm able to monetize and just get a lot of other resources out there. So definitely appreciate you all support. I know Game Enthusiast does too.
Mhm.
Let us know if you have any questions, whatever it is. Feel free in the comment section. Let us know if you want to game. I know with me, my PlayStation ID is Iceman_and_Bob, right? I put it out there all the time. So any of these games you see me playing and you're just curious about it or what have you, let me know. I will stream that content if you like, or upload the video of us playing. I like doing that. That way you can be seen out there. We can hear your audio if that's something you like. Now, if you want your privacy, I understand. But if you're open to that, let me know. Same name on Twitch. I'm out here and we can do that. I play other games as well. It's just let me know. We'll go from there and see what we can do. I'm sure Game Enthusiast, he's a gamer. He wouldn't have much of a problem with that too. We want to connect with you all. We're here for you all, and that's why we're doing this. We care about you all. We care about your enjoyment just as much as ours, right? It's a community.
Yeah.
Ain't no fun if the homie ain't having none. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's what the dope boys, dope girls would say.
That sounds something like I just played GTA 5. That sounds like something Lamar would say.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. And my shirt right now.
Yeah.
Video games are calling. So
Oh yeah.
they're calling. So
yeah.
I must. I might have to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and real quick. It's been 10 years. We're finally gonna get a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 early December.
Yes.
We were there November 8th in the morning, 8 a.m.
Yes.
Thank you, Sam Hauser. Okay.
Yes.
Something to look forward to, and the Game Awards. So.
Absolutely.
Insane year for games. Insane year for games.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Right.
We've been in a little over an hour and a half. If there's any particular live streams or subjects that you would like for us to cover, again, let us know in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to send a message on. Again, my name is all over on these social media platforms. So if you message me, hopefully I see it. We'll go from there, and we'll try to do the best we can to address as much as we can. I see a lot of your comments on my videos, and I try to get to them. it's hard, y'all. It's really hard. But I do the best that I can. And I know Game Enthusiast does as well. So please continue to comment. Eventually we'll get to you all. We'll see y'all. And again, thank you for your time, your support. And one thing I always like to say, y'all know what I always say at the end of my videos, right? Do y'all know what I always say at the end of my videos? As corny as it is.
Yes.
But it actually applies now. Because unlike the videos, I'm actually streaming. So when I say this, it applies, right? It actually does apply, right? Y'all get the corny humor. Anyway, I'm going to go and roll into this as I end this stream. Any last words?
Game on, everyone. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. Hopefully you guys have a 3-day weekend. Not
Yes.
have a good weekend regardless.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say what I always say. This is the end of this show. Thank y'all for watching. And as I always say, until we stream again.